Good evening. Welcome to another Hidden Gems one-on-one interview. This is take two with Jadon Johnson. I was happy with most of the interview. There were some pieces of it that I felt I could do better, and to make sure that we're doing the best by our clients that we can do. I wanted to redo his interview. So, without further ado, Jadon's here. He's been kind enough to come in this evening after I've been on a lot of phone calls, dealing with a lot of different things. So, Jadon, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So, today's been a rainy day. You were telling me offline, no coaching for the day. What'd you do with your day today?
So this morning I got up around 5:30, got some movement, did a 45-minute, cardio session on the treadmill, did a nice hypertrophy workout.
Okay.
I had to go to school, teach, take care of what I need to take care of at the school, and got off, came home, just spent some time with the dogs, something I haven't been able to do pretty a lot just because I've been coaching and going from one place to another. So
I got you. So nice little break, I guess.
yeah, nice little relax. It's always good to have a nice reset or just a nice time to catch your breath.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Hey, let's jump full force in. I want to talk a little real quickly just about what you've been talking about now. How's it been into the role of a teacher and a coach?
I mean, like about 2 years into college football, it isn't forever. So like you have to start thinking about life after.
Right, right.
And for me, yeah, like I didn't want to hear about football like after I finished my last few games, like maybe for like 2 months, just because it's hard. But then, day by day, it gets easier, and then I still have an opportunity. So that's what I'm thankful for. So you work towards the things that matter and cherish the things that you have now, and the rest will take care of itself.
So teaching what? PE?
PE, yes, sir.
What grade levels are you teaching?
Um, from 2 years old all the way up to eighth grade.
Okay.
It's in a Montessori setting.
So like school up to eighth grade kind
Yeah.
of deal.
So
Or
toddlers all the way up.
pre-K up to eighth grade, I should say.
Yeah, like toddlers all the
Mhm.
way up to adolescence, because
Yeah.
we have some come in before like pre-K and kindergarten, and I even take them on horse rides and the whole nine. So it's a good experience, and it's a different setting than what I'm accustomed to.
Gotcha. Well, what have you found to be most challenging thus far in taking on the role of a PE teacher and a football coach?
Like knowing it's different, like it's change, like I'm in the real world now, as they say. So with realizing that, with realizing that I'm in the real world, you have to make real world decisions. Every
Yeah.
decision that you make is leading to the next decision you're going to make, and
Yeah.
realizing that whether it comes to bills or relationships or just financial, like whatever it is, it's just being able to understand that and knowing that it's a marathon. It's not
Right.
gonna it's not gonna happen in one day.
Okay. I got you. How are the kids responding to you as their PE teacher and even the
Um,
kids on the football team, how are they responding to you?
I feel like I'm a role model for sure, and like they gravitate towards me, and with me knowing that, I have to know that somebody's always watching me, as I was told before. Like you never know who's watching, so even on a character standpoint, like those kids help me get up in the morning, like it's bigger than me. I'm not just doing it for myself. And,
Yeah.
I've worked with kids my whole life pretty much, whether it's summer camps or, training kids on the side. So it's nothing new to me. The setting is just different.
Right. Right. What are you currently teaching? Like, you have a lesson plan you're teaching, or?
Now, so like with the youngers, we're more so focusing on like how to fall because like at a young age, like they kind of fall on their face, like face first, So I'm teaching them how to fall, how to balance, and just how to move their body
Right.
with coordination.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then with the older kids, we're doing more like yoga based. So when I say older, I'll say like first grade to sixth grade or first grade to fifth grade. We're doing
Mhm.
more like yoga, learning how to pick up something properly, like things they will do on an everyday basis.
Okay.
And as far as the middle school, like today we played flag football. So I was the all-time quarterback, and just being able to navigate a game their their own way and being able to all come to an agreement. So there's a lot of different. I can spend a whole TED talk going into the Montessori setting, but it's a great experience for sure.
What led you to wanting to be a PE teacher and a coach? How did that come about?
Well, my mother's a teacher. My grandmother taught for 31 years. My
Okay.
grandfather was the director of transportation. So my grandmother's brother was a principal. His wife is a teacher. My grandmother's little sister is a teacher. So like education is in my blood. And
I I
you
see.
know, you see, like one day I was told that you can just have a career or you can have a calling.
Yeah.
And I feel like my calling is spreading all the good things that were given to me coming up, whether it's all the opportunities I had playing sports, the time my parents took with me to get to where, giving me every opportunity to get to where I want to go. It comes down to a lot of things, but I just feel like that's the best way for me at this moment to be able to share my light and shine it on others.
Yeah. So are you're so is teaching and coaching going to be the long term after football's over? Is that kind of your path, or?
I think it's a stepping stone for more doors. I do feel that, like how I look at it is you always have to try to build your resume. So
Okay.
as long as I can build my resume and be a help, I'll do it, because like the youth, the people that I'm teaching, like they're what comes next after us.
Yeah.
So we have to honor the ones before us that showed us the way, and we have to leave a legacy for the next to follow. So that's how I kind of attack that.
Absolutely. So you just finished your college career recently. 2024 was your final season, correct? According to your college bio, it says 24. So
Yes, sir.
senior campaign. Um, give us give us your thoughts on your college career. Just summarize it and kind of your overall thoughts, memorable moments.
I came in with a new coaching staff, so I mean that's always a plus in the college game because
Mhm.
they want to play their guys. So I came in, worked hard, and I was able to earn some time on the field. But I also started at kick returner, and I made some plays, got my feet wet, but that's all I did the first year. I was learning. Second year, so when I picked it up, I was all conference, second team. Um, first four games, I had 460-yard touchdowns. Set the school record in yards per catch at 28.3. Um, so it was a good campaign, something to build on. And the following season, I got off to a great start. And unfortunately, I took an ankle injury. I tore two ligaments in my ankle, but I didn't have to have surgery, so that was always a blessing. and I was able to come back for the last game of the season and score a touchdown. So going into my senior season, I thought that it was going to be the year. Like I was going to catch my big break, but other other plans were in place. So I didn't get that, but I made most of what I got. So when on third down when we needed the first down, I made a play. And you got to do what you can do, and or try to affect the game, whether it's making an extra block, go and get a tackle if there's a turnover. There's other ways to be an energy guy. Like there's other ways to impact the game from just catching the ball or catching a touchdown. So I was able to do that, and like there's no looking back. I can only look to see what will come from that.
Absolutely. Talk about during your senior campaign, that MSU Moorhead game. You had a 95-yard kick return for a touchdown, and you hauled in 4 catches for 65 yards. Um, Talk about that kickoff return for a touchdown.
Well, the hardest thing about playing kick returner is when you break one, you're not
Mhm.
going to kick two again. So I knew once I got it, like I had to make a play, and that's just simply what I did. I had a good block. Coaching staff wrote up a good scheme, and I executed. Couldn't ask for it to be drawn up better, and you hit the hole and just keep running.
All right. Right. What's your most memorable moment about your 4 years at Wayne State College?
I would say my sophomore year, my all conference year. That's also the same year we won a conference for the first time in school history,
Mhm.
and it was just a memorable moment. Just a lot of camaraderie between us and the teammates. I felt like that team had a strong bond, and like we were a team at first, and like the success across the board on the team is what pushed each other to fight for each other every game. And
You ranked fourth in the NSIC that year in yards per catch at 18.1 yards, and
yes,
you were 11th in receiving yards per game. Um, you had at least one catch in every game, touchdown catch in the first 4 games of the season in your sophomore year. Um, you had some pretty productive games that sophomore year.
yeah.
How did you? What allowed you, I guess, to walk in the door and really be productive right from the jump?
So I mean, it starts with like coming in as a freshman and wanting to learn, not wanting to be better than the next guy, just wanting to learn and get better.
Mhm.
And I was fortunate enough to have a great group of receivers ahead of me that they didn't have problems with me asking questions or problems with me picking me up as a freshman. Well, when it's snowing, take me to the store. Like it was bigger than football with that bond that we had. So that helped me groom into the receiver I was my sophomore year, and knowing that I can also lean on the vet on the other side, and he can lean on me, and just progressing, like just trying to get better each week.
Right. Now, your overall numbers. You played in 22 games in 3 years, 45 catches, 763 yards, 5 touchdown catches. You averaged 34.7 yards a game for a career, 17 yards a catch. Your longest catch was 74 yards. Talk about your numbers. Obviously hoping and looking to establish and build a professional football career. Some scouts and general managers and people would say, okay, those numbers are kind of low, kind of limited. Talk
Uh,
about why that may be. What caused your numbers to maybe not be in a range where maybe people think it's more productive?
Some of those numbers may not be accurate, but I mean, even the accurate numbers don't jump off the screen. Like
Okay.
it just doesn't. And the only thing I could say is from someone watching me play, like they would probably tell you, there's a guy that you need to get a ticket to see.
Yeah.
Like when I don't want to brag on myself, but you have to sell yourself. So I'll go ahead. I'm a guy that you want that once you see I have the ball in my hands, that's the guy you need to get the ball to.
Oh,
Or
absolutely.
or the offense can be ran. You can decoy with that. Like there's different schemes you can use. So all I can say is yeah, my numbers don't jump off the screen. They don't. But I'm a guy that's a big play away.
Now, when I watched your film, that was something I was impressed with. Was your playmaking ability, and you do display some speed on film. So, I was pretty impressed with that, and that's why I reached out to you. Was based on your film and how impressed I was with what I was seeing. In fact, we're going to go ahead and um, pop this here, and we'll let you talk a little bit about it. How's that sound?
For sure, for sure. See, this is the 95-yarder kick return. I had great blocking, a great scheme. Try to set them up and go the other way. And then at this point, it's just all about pushing through, getting through,
Yeah,
not two.
it's a foot race to the house.
And then this was my sophomore year. It got called back, but it's just to show you what I'm capable of being a kick return specialist.
Okay.
That was versus USF, the year we won conference. That was the game to kind of seal the deal to win conference. This was my junior year. I was kind of telling my coach, like they're having the safety low or the safety isn't there. So I was, wanting a post. And here, ran an out route. I seen the quarterback was scrambling. So I was the low guy. So I just went high, just keeping that chemistry and turning something into nothing.
Oh, absolutely.
This was, I think, a third or fourth down. And, mesh was our play where we would call them third down, where we knew if they're in man, we can hit the mesh. And this play right here is actually my first touchdown of my college career.
Wow.
That was a great game. That was to kick off our all conference year, but that game was a great one. Blown coverage right here, right up the seam. It was just a fade ball. I don't know. I guess technical difficulties, but it's a little.
Are you talking about that one play that glitched?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any way to find that footage to redo that or no?
I think the only way is contacting Minnesota State. I mean South Minnesota State.
Okay. We'll have to look into that and see what we can do. May just have to take that out since the glitch. What about this play? Talk about that.
You see, like we were supposed to run a double move, and I probably could have sold the move a little bit longer, and I think it would have gave me enough time to catch it like on the run. But it didn't happen. It wasn't a perfect world, so I just had to make a play come back to it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I honestly think you've got big capability. You're a home run play kind of guy. You got some speed, you got athleticism, you got hands. Obviously, there's some versatility to be a kick returner and a receiver. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with what you put on film. So, I'm glad we had a chance to talk about that because I wanted to be able to just kind of go through your film a little bit and let you talk about it. Talk about where you started your whole journey. Where did you play your high school ball?
I played high school ball in Lake Charles, Louisiana, at a
Okay.
3A high school,
Okay.
a private school at that. But we didn't. My first 2 years, we didn't win very much. So I would probably have pretty good games or decent games, but I didn't feel it, because
Yeah.
you didn't win. And then as we got older, we started winning, and I was able to go to a few camps because I had dreams of playing basketball, but
Okay.
I'm 6 foot. I couldn't get that through my head. So I didn't play 7-on-7 or anything, or go to many summer camps. So I started going to summer camps my senior year, going into my senior year.
Okay.
And I got my first offer to a D3 at the time, Louisiana Christian. And then my senior year, the only offer I got was to play safety at Southeastern.
Wow.
I,
Okay.
I, I just believed in my ability to be a receiver, an elite receiver at that. So Wayne texted me one day. We set up a visit, and I signed. I took a visit a few days before signing day,
Right.
and I had to sign with them because they took a chance on me.
Wow. What did the coaches say to you? I mean, what was their evaluation on you?
So I I'm not sure word for word. It's been some years, but the overall
Yeah.
summary was, how did not a Louisiana school pick you up out of high school?
Mm.
And the only thing I could think was there wasn't enough tape on me in high school to get that big offer. And the
Okay.
coach told me straight up was, if you sign, we got to steal. And that's when I knew that was the place for me.
And you got to campus. I mean, how was it? Um,
Um, I came in February, so it was snowing, of course, but I was born in Columbus, Ohio, so like I can take the cold. I've never been afraid of change, so yes, it was a culture shock, but it was something I was able to adjust to quick.
okay, I gotcha. Was it? I mean, did you? Was it pretty easy adjusting to your new academic schedule and your football schedule and all the responsibilities you have as a college athlete? Or
Yes, just for the simple fact that a lot of my friends and mentors played college sports, so they already gave me the rundown. But also, my high school, we ran on a block schedule, so you weren't going to every class every day. So like we ran it like a college style. We
okay,
had computers, so I was well prepared for the college setting.
gotcha, gotcha.
Because how I was told coming up is like, whether you're 17 hours away or 2 hours away, you're still gonna miss home. You're still gonna miss it.
What was your initial thoughts when you got on campus? What was the first thing that came to mind? What was the first thing you looked around and saw and just was like had a certain thought?
Initially, it was just like, there's two street lights. There, there's nothing else to do but put your head down, work on your craft, and
Yep.
at the end of these 4 years, know that you did everything that you could to
Yeah.
be the best version of yourself. And I believe that's what I was able to do.
Okay. Wow. All right. Um. So you're born and raised in Ohio.
Well, I was born in Ohio, but raised in
Born,
Louisiana.
born in Ohio. Excuse me. Raised in Louisiana. Um. I guess that's not too bad. My son's mother is from the Akron Medina area. Um. And I have a 13-year-old, which I have joint custody of. That's where he's at in Ohio with his mom. So
Okay.
um, No, I'm not a Buckeyes fan. I only tolerate that nonsense. But um, when did you know? Hey, I can be a really good college football player. When did that moment happen?
um, literally my freshman year, like I just could do everything up until the big point and just couldn't come through. So it was just a mental thing, like just knowing I was ready for the moment, and it came my freshman year. Like I knew I was going to be an elite college player. Maybe before I even signed. Like I've had this goal for so long, so it's just in me knowing, like manifesting it, just knowing that I can do this.
Do you remember the exact play or the exact game or quarter when
When
it
I got
kind of dawned on you?
when I got my first college catch, like
Okay.
as soon as I touched the ball, I knew it. When I had my first college kick return, I almost broke it free.
Yeah.
I just got shoelace tackle, but like I knew then, like when I started impacting the game in more ways than just one, that's when I knew. And that's what I always strive to do, was try to be versatile, because I feel like your best ability is your availability. And if you're available to do more than one thing, you're valuable.
I like that. I like that a lot. When did you start to assume a leadership role on the team? What year?
I would probably say my sophomore year, because my sophomore playing year for sure, just off the simple fact that my first year I got there in 2020, we had a COVID year.
Yeah.
And then we had 2021 that season. And with that, like a lot of the guys were older, wanted to start families. So a lot of them were not finishing out their eligibility. So now we're getting a pretty much young team coming for 2022.
Okay.
Some of our older guys, but mostly just younger guys. And so they looked to me, because I always hung around the older guys. They took me under their wing. So I would say like early on in my sophomore season.
You talk about that, and I know in our first interview you talked about some of the old heads taking you under their wing and mentoring you. Um, as we talked about in the first interview, there's two types of leaders on the football field. There's the loud, boisterous, rah rah leader, the Ed Reeds, Ray Lewis's, and then there's that guy that's the quiet, bring his lunch pail to work, lead by example guy. You talk about, you felt it was your responsibility to take on the mentoring, so to speak, role like the old heads did for you. What kind of leader do you feel you are? Are you that loud, boisterous, or that quiet, lead by example guy?
I like to say it's somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Just for the simple fact that, yes, I can, be the rah rah guy when something needs to be said or when the energy is lacked, what's ever needed to help the team. But also,
Yeah.
I can be the guy who leads by example, like going the extra rep, going the extra mile, or running to help a teammate finish an extra rep, or doing extra sets that the teammate gained upon himself, but just being there for support and just, being there for your brother, bringing
Yeah.
someone with you.
I got you. How long did it take your teammates to receive you as a leader on the team?
I would say they received me more as a leader by example before being a rah rah guy. But I think as knowing and adjusting to them seeing me as a leader by being a leader by example helped me at times be a rah rah guy. You know, just for saying in the moment, all right, nobody's going to say anything. It has to be me, or the whole ship sinks.
Would you say it was your sophomore, junior year, senior
I
year
would say
when
I
they
would say
started
sophomore
to,
year. Sophomore year.
they actually started to kind of receive you as a leader and look at you in that way?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. All right, I got you. On the flip side of that coin, you know, I think to, in addition to bringing guys under your wing and mentoring them, that gets into the role model type question that we discussed the first time around. Athletes are role models to a lot of people. The youth athletes, young adults, athletes in general. Um, Athletes are an inspiration to a lot of people. Um, Obviously, you motivated or inspired your teammates to look at you as a leader and come to you for guidance and things like that. How important is it to you, that image that you portray on and off the field, to those people who may look up to you and consider you a role model?
It's important, just like you want to be the best self, not just for you, but for like the Almighty above, but
Right.
also for the people who come after you. Like I want to be remembered as someone that was able to spread the word, spread what I've learned through my years, and just help someone. Like if I can't help them, at the very least, I don't want to hurt them. Like it just comes to just overall being a great person, and that's what I want to be remembered as, a great person.
Okay. Um, you know, a part of being a college and a a prospective or soon to be or already are professional athlete, is that community service aspect, and that kind of goes hand in hand with being a role model. Um, every university and every professional team has their own vision as to what that community service aspect looks like. They have their own philosophy on what they think should be done to achieve that particular mission. Um, Talk to us about something that you were involved in college, community service wise, that really had an impact on you as a person. And then tell us on the flip side something that you've identified, um, at some point that you sat down and said, um, I want to get involved in that. I want to leave my mark in a particular aspect of community service. And it could have been something you saw on TV, heard on the radio, read in a book, saw in a magazine, best friend, one of your teammates told you about. Um,
So for me, with community service, it started at a very young age,
okay.
like at a young age. So like me and my family would go to the shelter nearby and feed on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Mhm.
When I came back from college, my first time, my hometown was hit with a hurricane, and I was able. It was around Thanksgiving time, and I was able to hand out turkeys, for free. And every time I got 100 yards in college, I would donate chips and Gatorade to the local youth football team. So
Oh,
community service is very important to me. And one day I hope to have my own nonprofit organization where we can train athletes for free, give them free haircuts, like, helping them with their schoolwork after school. Like I want to have a nonprofit community center where we can, shine a light on the community.
now, that's interesting. You said what you said. A lot of guys will tell you a fresh haircut makes them feel like $1 million. Um, why is it important to give back to the community in that way, to be able to give kids haircuts and things like that? Why is that important to you?
Well, for one, I mean, it never helps to help out. It just doesn't. I feel,
Right.
if I'm able to do it, why can't I share with others?
Sure.
I just
But why
share.
the haircut piece? What's the importance of a kid
That's
getting a
something
haircut?
that's something that makes people feel good, like
Sure.
it's a spike of dopamine, like it helps you feel like
Yeah.
look good, feel good.
Okay.
Cliche, but
There it is.
it's
I was waiting on it.
it's true in a sense, yeah.
Go ahead, finish the statement because I know there's more to that statement. I've been told before.
Yeah, that's all it is for me. I mean, look good, feel good. I mean,
But what happens when you look good and you feel good? John Sanders even talks about it. What
I
does
mean,
it lead to?
it leads to more opportunities or it leads to more confidence.
Oh, I thought you was a big time receiver,
Yes, I'm
man.
a big,
I
but I keep the main.
I had a high school kid. This has been probably 10 years or more. I was doing private training through a company called Coach Up, and he would show up to every training session. He would have a different pair of cleats, and he would have the bicep bands, and he'd have wristbands and gloves on. And I'm like, dude, what is going on with all this stuff? And he was like, well, my grandmother buys it for me. My grandparents buy it for me. And I'm like, I understand that, but none of that stuff's going to help you be a great player. It's working and learning the fundamentals and techniques of your position. And he threw that statement up at me. He said, Coach, you look good, you feel good, you play good. And I was like, okay,
You
I
play
get
good.
it.
You play
So
good.
I was waiting on you to finish that statement. I thought you were going to go ahead and go down that road, but
Yeah,
so
I've before.
yeah, go ahead. No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
No, I just say I've heard it before. Like I've heard the same before,
Look good, feel good, play good.
and then they pay good.
Okay, there's another piece to it. I got you. Um, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So the whole haircut for you with eventually with a nonprofit is to raise kids' self esteem and
Self-esteem, keeping them out of trouble. Showing them there's other way. There's another way. It doesn't have to be through a sport, be through academics. But there's a lot of ways that you can become successful.
right. And that haircut, it just is like you said, raising their self esteem, self pride. Make them feel good about themselves and feel confident. So I like that. I think that's well thought out. I really do. I think it's a pretty cool idea. Um, you know, you've already had a little bit of a taste of pro football already um, since your college career ended. Talk about your experience thus far as a professional.
It's definitely a learning experience. Like you're a freshman all over again. You're fresh meat, but I feel like just off in general in the arena setting, like that's the life. But I feel like I was adjust quickly, and be able to play at a high speed. I just had to wait my turn. And unfortunate, but also I look at it as, like I said earlier, Wayne is what helped me make a mark on early. I believe the same thing in Sioux City. Been able to learn from guys that played a lot of good of experience based football.
Yeah,
I was able to learn from them, able to help me out, even taking some, and help as they're late in their career. But it's just a learning season, and I got to play late, and I was able to make some plays. I was able to make some plays early on, so it was just basically being a Ferrari in the garage.
yeah,
That's
I got you. So you were with the Sioux City Bandits in the National Arena League.
Yes, sir, correct.
How hard was the adjustment from 11-on-11 to 9-on-9?
I mean, the high emotions are different for me.
Yeah,
Also, like I feel like you either don't, and I was able to adjust. Like at the end of the day, I was just trying to make it football. Like
sure.
keep it simple. It's
Yeah,
football. You know,
yeah,
whether it's football. Go make a play.
yeah. Did were you able to make plays pretty much right away, or did it take you a minute to kind of settle in? Or
I mean, the first preseason game, I went 2 for 3 for touchdowns. You know, me and the quarterback couldn't connect on but I had route, and then I took a hitch, basically 20 some yards to the crib. You know, on fourth down. So I was
okay,
able to make. You know, they kind of shelved me for a bit, and then the last game I had on jet sweeps. So you know, like touchdowns receiving. So
okay, I got you, I got you. So now that you've had your taste of indoor and arena ball on the professional level, um, what's the next goal league wise? Now, we
the
talked
next,
about on the phone initially. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, the next goal for me is you know, like I want to get back to playing what I'm used to. You know, what I've known my whole life of being football,
Mhm.
which and I would love to go overseas, whether it's you know to
Okay.
Germany or Japan or Mexico or anywhere in Europe or Italy. You know, like the list goes on. And I
Yeah.
mean, if I have to go back and play arena, I mean that might just be the route I have to do. But I
Right.
believe, and I hope GMs out there believe that I can make a difference overseas in whatever league that takes a chance on me. You know.
And we talked about this the first time, and I want to make sure we talk about it again. Um, you know, one of the big things in the European circuit is finding guys that have experience coaching and are willing to coach, or people that want to coach, because the budgets spending wise on players and coaches is so limited with a lot of the countries that a lot of times they try to kill two birds with one stone. They try to get a player that also can be a coach. Um, how open would you be getting over there and being asked to coach, even if it's not the senior team, the professional team? If they ask you to coach the U15 team or the U18 team, or how would you feel about pulling double duty?
I think it would be a passion. It'd be a great opportunity. You know, a great chance to be able to help also learn. You know, grow grow my art someone else's. So I think it'd be a great opportunity to helping out or training whatever is needed.
Right. What would it mean to you, not only in a player role but a coach role, to be over there and be an ambassador to the game?
It would mean the world because you know, yes, our game is spreading. It,
Yeah.
it can always spread more,
Yeah.
and not just knowing the game of football, but learning the game of football and understanding the game of football
Mm.
is something I want to tap more into, and that's something big on knowing the game of football, but understanding, learning, and be able to react. You know, so
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's talk about your off-season conditioning program. Now that you've had a taste of pro football, and you're ready to take that next step and keep climbing that ladder, how many days a week are you currently training? What are you focused on each day? Are you working with position trainers or a strength and conditioning coach, speed and agility coach? And then talk about flexibility. Are you going to yoga classes? What do you do for flexibility work? What do you do recovery wise? Are you a guy that likes crowd therapy and cupping and acupuncture, or are you a guy that just likes good old fashioned ice baths? What's your choices in the recovery methods? So kind of take us through a week with Jaden.
I mean, you know, I try to train 6 days a week. You know, nothing less than five. But you know, a
Okay.
typical Monday, wake up around 5:30. You know, start my morning instantly with a glass of water, and then I walk over, and then I start off minutes of incline cardio. You know, just getting the blood flowing, moving. You know, waking the body up, getting a good sweat, I get off that and it's showtime, like ground bells or kettlebells, whichever workout I'm deciding to use the day. And it's mostly like a hypertrophy, high intensity workout. Uh, it may look like 10 thrusters by 10 clean thrusters or 10 man makers, like with a 400-meter row, and then I might do that 5 times, and I'm knockout mobility and ab work, something I do every day. But if I don't do it every day, it'll be every other day. And conditioning, I like 3K. I run a 3K on Monday, Wednesday, and then on Friday and Saturday, high intensity. So four times 20 yards, 4 times 30, 40, 4 times 80, 4 times 110. And just being able to change direction and also change acceleration is something that I think will be a big and something that you can't get, because I'm not going to get faster. I may, but like at this peak in my career is all about maintaining, and keeping myself fresh and being able, not just the first quarter, but triple overtime, so I'm preparing my body for the long recovery, like just when I get in the shower, so I take a shower on cool water, and then the last 2 to 3 minutes is strictly cold.
Okay.
And then
I do that too. I do that very thing too. Somebody told me about that, and it'll shock your body. All right, it'll wake you up for certain.
And then I'll get out and have a black coffee or a black espresso, something very light, and I won't eat till 1 or 2 o'clock in the day, so. Normally only eating whole food, so beef, eggs, maybe a little chicken in there, a lot of vegetables. So I try to keep it simple, but also stay disciplined.
Talk about that, because you talked about that the first time we did this. Talk about the whole fasting program and how that came about, the research you put into it, the thought you put into it as far as things you can eat, not eat, how you're going to run your program. Really kind of talk about that, how that all just kind of came about.
So my degree is science and sport. So, with going to college and playing football, and knowing that's my degree, I really tried to do enough of how my body can work things, like what helps me, what doesn't so much help me, so I was able to find that eggs and, steak or eggs and chicken and a few veggies here and there, a few fruit that helped me be more of myself. And naturally, I just kind of started fasting, and then I did some research and seen the benefits. So, I've been fasting for about 2-3 years, intermittent fasting. So it's something that I'll be doing for time.
I was impressed the first time, and I'm just as impressed this time hearing about the research and the thought process put into all that, and how you set it up. I'm gonna have to get some notes on that from you. I've heard about it and read a little bit about it, but not really understood the whole how you incorporate it, and make it all work. That's definitely something I'm going to get with you on. So, okay, so you're working out, training 6 days a week. Are you working with a position coach or fundamental work?
As of right now, I'm just strength training and conditioning. But come October, the start of October is when, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to train where I do train athletes, in an indoor turf facility. And a lot of people don't have that access, and I'm able to lift weights in there as well as do breaking and cutting and, all the things that I become a great receiver.
Right. Okay. Now, talk about height, weight. Where are you at right now? What are you measuring in at? What do you weigh in at?
Oh, you know, some people say 6'1", but I believe I'm true 6 foot, and I'm weighing
Okay,
around 205 at the moment.
205. Okay. All right. Good slot receiver size. Um, do you know your 40 time? Have you been clocked recently or
40 time at the end of my senior year was a 4.47.
447? 6 foot, 205, 447, 40.
My fastest was a 4.43.
Okay. 443 is the fastest. Impressive. Very impressive. Um, who do you look up to and why?
You know, say my father,
Okay.
but I think this one really goes to my grand because he was
Okay.
once in my shoes to an extent. He played professional baseball, but also just the impact
Hmm.
he left and the legacy he left, which makes me and then leave. So
Yeah.
my grandfather, he played baseball at Southern University in Louisiana. He went there on a
Okay.
basketball scholarship and decided to play baseball. And they won national championship there, and he was fortunate enough to be able to play with the Chicago Cubs club team. And like he always stressed to us about education. Like that's something that no one can take away from you. Like sports
Right.
come and go, but you'll always have. It meant a lot for me to be able to graduate college and but also pursue a professional career. So I think I knocked out two birds in one stone.
Did you and him ever have conversations about your football dreams and goals?
No, unfortunately, he was paralyzed from the left side down.
Okay.
A year after, so
Oh, okay.
speaks it, but he felt it.
Right.
It was just the vibe and the mood. Like he got it. Like he knew to do.
Mm.
He could see it. His own eyes. So I connection.
How important is it to you, or how important is it for you, rather, to succeed for him?
I think there's no. I think I've already made him proud, but I think it'll be something that I'd be excited to be able to say I did, and
Right.
also live it out, and also be a testimony and be able to share my story with others.
Wow. Okay. When you're on the field, what about who you try to model your game after and why?
So I would say my favorite receiver of all time is Jerry Rice. I watched a lot of Jerry Rice throwing bricks up in the air, catching them.
Oh yeah.
Ran a lot of hills. Just so I'd say he's the
Yep.
GOAT. As far as like modeling my game, I would say Odell Beckham in a sense, Jamar Chase like a lot. Uh,
Mm.
Guys like that, like match up with like for size, and
Yeah.
I try to take little bits and pieces from them and put them into my game.
What do you try to take from Odell Beckham?
Just like being accelerate and decelerate. Like those are two things. Like the game is not played at 100%.
Right.
It's, it's all about who can get in and out of breaks the fastest. So I try to
Yeah.
take away from him about separation and being able to also track the ball. The 50-50 catch, he's got to come up with those. So from him and Chase, his physicality, his running through the first tackle, running through arm tackles, fighting for the ball, also making a big play when it's needed. His crunch time clutchness is unbelievable. So I try to myself in those positions and the most of it.
Sure, absolutely. Um, and we talked about this earlier to a certain extent, but now I want to kind of really dive into it. You know, you and I talked, I think, before the first time we did the interview. You know, we're only, we all have a certain amount of time to be college athletes or pro athletes. You know, father time catches up to everybody. And
Yeah,
eventually, your muscles are going to regress, your speed, your agility, your reaction time, all those things are going to start to regress. When the game of football is over for you, when you hang up your cleats for that final time, what is your goals and dreams out of the game of football? Where does Jadon go after your football career is finally said and done?
I mean, like I don't know what the future holds, but if I had to guess, I would say, an athletic director, owning my own nonprofit organization, or both at the same time.
Right.
Like I could see myself, coaching at a high level. Like it's just all about me creating the best path for myself at the end of the day and staying on track.
Mhm. I got you. I got you. Um, yeah, I really appreciate you giving me the time to redo this interview
For sure.
to try to make it better for you. Um, take a few minutes, put your car salesman hat on, um, and give me your sales pitch. Tell the coaches, the GMs, the player personnel directors out there why they should give you an opportunity. Why should it be you versus somebody else?
Um, it might be cliche, but I, like always an opportunity to showcase my talent, and I promise you, you won't be left, and you won't regret it. Like I can run routes, I can improve, I can block, I can make a play, I can lead. There's countless of things I can do, but most importantly, I'm willing to learn and get better, and also help the team in the best way possible.
Okay. With the college football season going on right now and the 12-team playoff system in place, give me your 12. Who do you think is going to be left standing at the end of the year?
It's what week 4.
Yeah, going into week 4.
It's it's too early. Like if you ask me, like 6, week 7, like football is too early. Like it's any given Saturday, any given Wednesday night. Like like you never know. You never know. So I mean, I don't have 12 for you. I don't.
Well, give me your best Nostradamus impression. Just
I
who do
mean,
you predict? Who do you think?
off the top, you know, Georgia normally, comes around.
Yeah.
They're they're pretty consistent. But I like how Florida State's playing as well. They may come around, they may sneak in. Uh, and I mean, it may be too early to say. That's why I said it's too early. But it's not playing bad football at the moment either.
Okay. Fair enough.
And as a biased LSU fan, I'm gonna throw them in there because I would love to see them there. I can't be so sure, but I love to see them there.
All right, I got to know then. Since you said that, I got to stop you right there and be truthful. Don't lie. What's your thoughts on Brian Kelly as a coach down there at LSU?
I do. I like him.
Does he fit?
I don't think he fits, but I like him.
Oh, come on now.
But
He got caught
but
on
I'll
camera.
say this: I would take put him at Nebraska and put Matt Shit.
Okay, I was getting at was Brian Kelly got caught on camera basically trying to fake a Cajun accent to appease the fans down there. I know that wasn't looked upon very highly.
Yeah, I haven't. I'll have to do my research and look at it. But if he had to fake it, I'm pretty sure it was funny.
He did. It was right after he got hired.
Okay.
He got asked something. I don't remember what it was, but he tried to fake a Cajun accent. It was horrible. It was horrible. So I was just curious what the real Louisianans think about Brian Kelly down there, because
Yeah, I mean, I like him. I
people.
just don't think he has it under control yet, but I do like him as a head coach for sure.
Yeah. Do you think Nussmeier coming back was a good thing?
I mean, I haven't seen like the progress from last season. So like now I would say no. But I mean, it's a long season. So he's not like he's playing awful. He's just doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah. All right, I gotta ask because I'm a Tennessee fan, born and raised. What do you think about the Nico Iamaleava situation?
Who's that?
The former QB at Tennessee, the one that's out at UCLA now.
Oh, he transferred?
Yeah, he's the one that Dad and them demanded more money last year before the playoffs. His NIL deal was $2 million. He demanded $4 million. Tennessee told him to go kick rocks. He packed his bags and went out to UCLA.
I mean, the whole like Power 5 college football business is turning into, it's no longer amateur sports. It's no longer, people are getting more. I mean, I can sound biased, but people are getting more money than they can handle at a young age, and it's not about football anymore. It's not. It's about getting the quick buck. So that's my
absolutely. How do you feel?
Because an 18-year-old that's making more money than you would.
Yeah. How do you feel about these guys getting all this money and turning around and wrecking these Dodge Chargers and Ferraris and Porsches and killing people and all that nonsense that's going on? Guys that have never had money all of a sudden have money and they go out and buy the most expensive car, and they're driving 150 miles an hour in town and kill somebody.
I think it's awful. It's heartbreaking. But I mean, for me personally, I'm not a big fan of like the sport car because at the end of the day, you drive a sports car or you drive a Subaru.
Yeah.
You're gonna get there at the same speed. Like at the same time you're gonna get there. And if you try to go faster, casualties happen, so
right.
I've never been a materialistic guy. So, like I do feel awful that is happening, but I wouldn't put myself in that situation because it's tempting.
Do you think it's a good thing that the NIL is in such a state where these guys are getting that money?
No, I think that's the cause and effect.
Yeah.
The cause is they're getting the NIL. The effect is them not knowing what to do with that much money at the young age,
Right.
Or just
they have no responsibility and no discipline with it.
And I think that's with, where the financial literacy comes into play and like, telling these athletes like, here are the resources to be able to withhold all, or saving, putting something to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Celebrate, enjoy yourself, but also how to, think of.
It's been said several times by different people at different times, over the last handful of years that they should start putting budgeting classes in high school and teaching how to budget a checking account and how to balance it and talk about interest and credit cards and house payments and car payments and really teach kids in high school the basics of that stuff. So become young adults and adults, they actually know what to do versus maybe what's going on today. Do you feel that's an accurate statement?
Um, it is accurate, but I was fortunate enough to take a civics class. My teacher, like, he took out a whole week and showed us how to manage a checkbook. Showed us how to
Yeah.
we would actually take with us walk into the real world. But I do feel that is a big necessity to this younger generation that is going to go through the NIL business.
Yeah. I gotcha. What's your take on the first couple of weeks of the NFL season? What's been your takeaway?
I mean, like I just think the teams that we thought were going to be, the dogs are still trying to find their footing, but the NFL season is even a longer season. It always comes down to the best team who's the most healthy.
Yeah.
The most healthy, best team, so it always comes down to
Who
that.
who's surprised you the most so far?
Dallas surprised me week 1. I didn't think they would come out that strong, but they surprised me good and bad. Their offense was incredible until the fourth quarter. CD can connect with a few drops.
Yeah.
Kind of, I was hoping to see Washington, put it together, but I haven't quite seen it yet. The Eagles are playing good Eagle football. I may be biased because
Yeah.
I'm an Eagles fan, but they're playing good Eagle football. When I say that, it's pound, 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 and then let it fly over the top. I thought Bengals were gonna make a run, but Joe Burrow got hurt, so but the backup came in and Jamar had a pretty good game. So
Joe has had Joe's had an injury riddled career.
yeah,
He's been hurt just about the entire time he's been an NFL player. So and talking about Washington, Jaden Daniels is in his second year, so he's in what they call the sophomore slump.
yeah.
That usually QBs in the NFL, when they hit their sophomore year, they kind of have a drop off, and then once their junior year, their third year rolls around, they kind of get in a groove and pick it back up again.
Or how their career is gonna be, whether they pick it up or they don't.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, he gets through this sophomore slump and kind of picks it back up again. So who are your front runners to make it to the Super Bowl? I know it's only first couple of weeks, but just based on what you've seen, who do you think stands a chance of being still standing at the end?
I'm saying, Philly, and if not Philly, maybe Baltimore. But
Okay.
and then I mean it's very hard to not put the Chiefs in the category. So
I don't know.
I
I don't
mean,
think the Chiefs will be anywhere close.
yeah, I mean it's hard, but Chargers might make a run, the Bills might make a run. Like there's
The Chiefs have become too complacent. They've
they
they
normally
won
hit
some
hard during the season.
they've won some Super Bowls, and now they're not really driven. They're not really as hungry. They're not really as there's not that sense of urgency there. I think Kelsey and Mahomes are too busy living the rock star lifestyle.
I feel that.
Week 1, they were at the Cincinnati college football game, and they were on camera every 5 minutes. They were on the field. They were on the sideline. They were in the press box. There's Taylor Swift. There's Mahomes with his wife. Like, They're they just seem to be enjoying the rock star lifestyle. I don't think they really took the offseason very seriously this year. Kelsey doesn't look good so far. Mahomes doesn't look good at all. Um, I don't know. I think that dynasty is about to fall apart. I know it's a long season, and I hope they put it back together. But I don't know. I'm not too enthused about them. I got to ask you though, since you're a coach too, and a player, and we've been talking about all this stuff. What about my Titans, Cam Ward? What's your initial thought process on Cam
He,
Ward?
huge Cam Ward fan. I love his journey. I love how he started as an underdog, but also I love leadership, even as a young quarterback. And
Yeah,
I love his composure as he plays. Nothing riddles him. Nothing shakes him. Like you're
yeah,
gonna get the same Cam Ward that you got from the first play of the game to the last play of the game.
yeah.
And I believe he's a guy that can make something out of nothing. And he's shown it. Like yes, he's had a rough start. Being sacked quite. I think if they invest in their O line, he'll be all right.
Yeah, we don't have much of an O line again. Um, I've been impressed with his ability, his poise in the pocket, his ability to stand tall and deliver. Um, like you said, the fact that he doesn't get rattled. Um, he's got a strong arm.
He
I'll say
does.
that. What's the part of an NFL QB?
Yes,
Will it take another year or two for him to fully fit into those shoes?
for sure.
Potentially, yeah. I think he'll still need some more time to settle in, but um, I'm highly encouraged. Truthfully, I'm highly encouraged by his talent and his potential. So, well, listen, tell everybody how they can find you on social media. Where are you located at? What's your user handles? If a coach or a scout or GM wants to reach out directly.
My cell phone is 337-660-9077. My Instagram is 6EAN Johnson. And yeah, you can find me on Instagram or you can hit my number. And my email is jadonbingjohnson@gmail.com.
Where'd the being part come in? I was curious about that. Where'd
Um,
that come from?
quite a few friends in high school that love Kobe Bryant, and they credit me on my work ethic. And one time I was at the free throw line and they just started chanting "Bean," and it just stuck with me.
I got you. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Finish telling everybody what social media platforms and user handles and how to find you.
Oh yeah, you can find me on Instagram at 6EAN Johnson, and my Gmail
Okay.
is jadonbeanjohnson@gmail.com.
Okay. And if you have an opportunity for him, we'd love to hear from you about those opportunities. We're available anytime. You can text us, call us, DM us, email us. That information's on our website, our social media pages. Feel free to reach out. We look forward to hearing about any opportunities for Jadon for the 2026 season. We have no doubt that he is going to make an amazing addition to somebody's locker room and an amazing leader on the field. Um, I feel really confident in saying that. So, uh, if you need a slot receiver with the versatility and a kick returner, hit us up. We got one ready to go. And so, Jadon, again, I thank you for the time. We're about where we should be again. I'm very grateful that you were willing to do this a second time to make it better, and I feel more. So, um,
Thank you so much for.
absolutely, man. I hope you have a good day tomorrow and a good weekend as well. I will be in touch over the next day or two. Okay.
Sure. God bless.
All right. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're done with another interview. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Stay safe out there. Have a good weekend. Hopefully you enjoy some beautiful weather, college football, NFL. And we'll look forward to seeing you back here again on another Hidden Gem Sports Scouting live stream interview. Have a good night.